Brothers, it is your boy, the Streets Champ. Tubby World, party time, excellent. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that one's a little bit harder than last week, but if you know the song that I just played, comment it, and if you're right, I'm acknowledge you. And guys, honestly, I'm a bit overworked this week. It's kind of stressful being on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe. And I typically make a video every week, but I think I'm gonna take a break this week. Make part 2 of the best genre football. Look, I appreciate y'all's comments, but I genuinely need a break. Make part 2 of the best genre. I'm starting to think that y'all don't even care about me. You just want my videos. Make part 2 right now, boy. Okay, that boy was mad racist. You guys can't tell me what to do. Hey, Toby, have sex with my wife. You know what? Fine. I'll do it. Yeah! Yeah. Wait, Toby, I was just playing. No! It's already done. Dude, did my wife? Best genre footballers part. Oh! But before we get started on that, guys, we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We are 70,000 away, and we are trying to hit 100,000 before 2026. The most unstoppable team of 2026 will not be the mighty Chelsea. It will not be Spain, and it will not be Seth Rollins' new team. No, it's gonna be World Gang. So if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you join the journey. And no, I'm not talking about this piece of crap. And if you are new to the journey, make sure you comment it so I know who's here. Alright, enough playing games. I am not Triple H. Make sure you guys like the video. Without further ado, let's get into it. First in the list of the best genre of footballers, elite teenagers. Now I understand, this kind of sounds like the favorite category of Harvey Weinstein, but that's obviously not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about young men who aren't even old enough to drink being better than grown men that got like 3 children. I think we all like when teenagers come out on top.
I agree, my brother.
Not that way, Benzema. I just mean teenagers running fields that are typically run by grown-ass men. Like LeBron as a teenager taking over the NBA, or Chief Keef as a 17-year-old running the music industry, or my favorite example, Cell getting absolutely two-pieced by a teenage Gohan. Some of my favorites in football are Wayne Rooney, Neymar, and of course, Lamine Yamal. I think the reason that people like them is because the potential they have is so immeasurable. And I think just as people, we like to join somebody on the road to success. But there is no place that teenage ballers are appreciated more than in FIFA career modes, and especially Football Manager. These guys gave me so much to live for back when I was obsessed with Football Manager a couple of years ago. Football Manager is hilarious, bro. It will have 35-year-old grown men dick riding a 16-year-old, calling him the GOAT. Scouting the best young player in the world in Football Manager is so rewarding. Just don't get too enthralled in scouting, okay? I don't want you guys Googling good under 15s from Colombia with good head stats and great ball control. It's a bit dodgy, mate. The next best genre of footballers, the government-mandated light-skinned winger with 99 pace. Okay, so back in the 2000s and the early 2010s, I kid you not, every Premier League team had a winger that looked like a variation of Drake, and they happened to have 99 pace. It's like the FA told these guys, yo, listen, you have to have a winger that's either light-skinned or light-skinned, but with 99 pace. Spurs had Aaron Lennon. Arsenal had Theo Walcott. Was he good at passing? I guess so. Did he score a lot of goals? Not really. Honestly, he was just there because he had 99 pace. I could only imagine what these conversations with Wenger would sound like. You know, Gaffer, I've been walking on my left foot and a bit of my hold-up. Yeah. I was just nigga, just run. Swansea had Montero. This guy ran like he was running away from the cartel. And that has nothing to do with the fact that he comes from Colombia. Actually, upon further research, it turns out he's actually from Venezuela. Okay, maybe that joke was a little racially motivated. And of course, I gotta talk about Steven Pienaar. Now, I think most Premier League OG fans remember him as your typical run-of-the-mill, streets won't forget winger. But guys, as a South African, to me, Steven Pienaar was basically Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'd like to think Everton fans feel the same. And dude, don't get me started on those weak-ass Nipsey Hussle braids. And yet somehow, this haircut to me was what R9's haircut was to young Brazilians in the 2000s. And then there was Ravel Morrison. This guy was so fast, he actually did a speed run on how to ruin your career as quick as possible. Man, what happened to the game I love? Look at the light-skinned wingers we have now. Jadon Sancho, Jadon Bando, bro. This man doesn't have pace. The only time the words Jadon Sancho and pace are in the same sentence is when somebody says, gee, Jadon Sancho runs like he has a pacemaker. Man, shout out to the light-skinned wingers in the Premier League, man. You guys were running the game. Because simply put, that's all you could do. Run, because you weren't good at anything else. Fuck you.
This was brought to you by a member of the Dark Skin Society.
The next best genre of football is ballers in Christ. These guys play football like if they don't win the match, they're going to hell. It is easy to spot a baller in Christ. They routinely post Bible verses on their stories. They usually have a shirt or an accessory that displays their faith in God. And it's usually punished by the FA. Good job, FA. I mean, we definitely don't have bigger issues to focus on. No. These are the bad guys, right? Or they come from a South American country, except for this guy. I'm fully convinced that Satan himself carried this man in his belly for 9 months and unleashed him onto the earth. I like ballers in Christ. It's like believing in something greater than yourself gives them that little bit of resilience. Helps them take that extra step in order to win, and it actually really helps in defeat. For example, I won't forget the match when Caicedo had the stinkiest debut ever for Chelsea after they just paid 100 million for him. And you know what this guy started doing at full time? He started praying. This guy was thanking God because he knew this chapter wasn't finished. Yeah, you know what? Fair play, man. If I gave away a penalty on my debut, I just burst into tears. Ballers in Christ are some of the best players ever. But yo, listen, Muslim ballers, I'm not forgetting you guys either. Yeah, Muslim ballers are a completely different breed. Can somebody please tell Mo Salah, yo, dude, you know, if you don't get a goal or an assist in a game, it's not haram, right? Also, I kid you not, whenever Muslim ballers go to Mecca, it's like they come back recharged. It's like when Goku goes to the hyperbolic time chamber. Yo, and don't get me started on Ramadan. Muslim ballers will have their best games while not eating because they gotta fast. There are players that step on a football pitch right after gorging down 3 pieces of salmon, 2 protein bars, and an energy drink. And they are still getting two-pieced by players that are literally starving. I would never tell anybody what to believe, but from what I have seen, it appears that being a footballer that believes that a divine entity always has your back is a lot easier than, carrying that load by yourself. Because ultimately, us human beings are just fragile creatures. We die, we bleed, we shit ourselves. Religious footballers believe that whether they win or lose, somebody still got their back. It elevates and it grounds them. So yeah, shout out to all the religious ballers. Next best genre of footballers, the entertainers.
I am Erling Haaland, the robot from Norway.
I am Jack Grealish. I do what Pep tells me to do. We are Man City, the Autobots of the Premier League.
I remember everybody was gassing up Erling Haaland.
Oh, dude, you don't get it. He's a robot.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Have you guys not seen Terminator or that 2014 Nike commercial? This is how I'm convinced that when robots take over, a lot of people are just gonna sit back and watch. People will literally glaze a nigga that looks like this as long as he can get 60 goals and assists in a season. Why, as football fans, do we care so much about efficiency? What happened to just loving the game? This is why I love the entertainers in football. I'm talking Hazard. I'm talking about Ronaldinho. I'm even talking about guys like Balassi and Alan St. Maximin and JJ Okocha. These guys play football the way KSI was playing FIFA 12. I know there's some people that prefer players that just fill up the stat sheet rather than footballers that actually make football bearable to watch. But I have to ask this question. Do you actually prefer watching these efficiency monsters YouTube compilations over the compilations of pure hoopers that probably still believe that this sport is called the beautiful game? If you said yes, and you're one of the guys that just prefers watching the ball hit the back of the net, then I'm also going to assume that you're one of those guys that watches Pwn, and you want the people in the video to just be f***ing from the first second. Dude, where's the love? Where's the build-up? Matter of fact, let me ask you guys this question. What was the last great, entertaining Premier League game that you remember? If I could look back, the last one I remember was Chelsea versus Man U 4-3. That match was pure chaos. But I think if there's any league that has been hit more with the efficiency over aesthetic mindset, it is 100% the Premier League. I will be honest with y'all, I do not enjoy watching a lot of the big teams play in the Premier League anymore. I don't enjoy watching Man City, Arsenal, or Liverpool. I did enjoy watching them at some points over the last couple years because the players aren't being told to express themselves, they're being told to be as efficient as possible. Look at somebody like Saka. A lot of people say that he plays like a robot. That's only because he's being told to do that. This guy could be a genuine entertainer if he was just allowed to. How are we gonna say Ronaldinho's the guy that made us fall in love with football, but we're now telling players that they can't do the stuff that Ronaldinho did? Dude, even in youth level, kids are being taught to become cogs in a moving machine rather than just expressing their abilities. So even though football can feel like a real chore to watch nowadays, I do want to acknowledge the people that made it so much fun. And there's one more person I gotta give credit to. Carlo Ancelotti, probably the last elite manager ever that just allows players to go out there and just be themselves. Okay, it's time for the last category, but before we get into that, guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it as well. If you do all this, then you are officially an honorary Oos and a member of World Gang. We're gonna be taking over 2025 and 2026. It is now time for the final genre. Next, in the best genre of footballers, the me, you got a long ass name. But you're so good, I'm gonna remember it. Here's a random question right now. What player had the longest name in Premier League history? Right? Yeah, look, you're wrong, okay? The answer is Van Vanegor of Hasselink. And I know the only people that got that right is avid fans of the Premier League during 2009 and 2010 and disgruntled Hull City fans. But nobody really remembers this guy because, simply put, he wasn't the most memorable of ballers. Now, if he was a baller, everybody would remember his name. Just like this guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, typically, this is a name that nobody can be bothered to remember. But because this man turned into the Terminator and the governor of LA, I mean, yeah, of course we're gonna remember it. He's earned it. And so have a couple of footballers. For example, this man right here. Now, a handful of you guys know this guy, and some of you have probably already said his name. But if you don't know his name, this is Blaszczykowski. Yes, I know his name sounds like an old German man sneezing. And yes, his name does look like what girls type out when they start laughing on text. And yet, despite having such a complicated ass name, this guy was a baller. So guess what? We're gonna remember it. You know who else's name we remember? Obama who?
Obama what? Obama who?
Aubameyang was so good that we took his complicated name and made it even more complicated by adding a long-ass word in the middle. Obama blood clot yang. It sounds like something a man says right before he has a stroke. And I'm glad we're keeping the mantle going with this man right here. Now, y'all, I will admit, y'all, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. So I just call him Kavicha. Despite the fact that I've known this guy for like 5 years, I haven't signed him on Football Manager when he played for Ruben Quintana. But despite me being a dumbass, pretty much everybody else knows how to say his name. Why? Because he's an absolute baller. And I respect these long name merchants making everybody remember who they are. It's been your boy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Guys, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and like the video. And please comment your favorite genre of ballers. You feel me? But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody. I love all of you guys, part of World Gang. It has been your boy, the Streets Champ. And I have just given you the gift of Toby World. Drink it in, man.